Yo, what up, YouTube? I want to talk to you guys today about blood pressure and what it's telling you when you take it. All right, so top number, which is going to represent your systolic reading, which is associated with your adrenal glands. Once again, that's the top number. Adrenal glands right up here. Key glands, they control your entire nervous system, basically, or I should say they govern it. Um, they're associated with what we call the fight or flight symptom. Um, Weak adrenals would lead to an extreme lack of energy depending on how weak they are. They sit on top of what are called the kidneys, and so they're directly related to the kidneys depending on the condition of the kidney. Okay, so the bottom number, diastolic, it is in relation to the kidneys. According to Dr. Robert Morris, and I have found his information on this to be very beneficial. Um, his preferred range is between 120 to 130 on top, which is going to represent your adrenals, and 60 to 70 on bottom, which is going to represent your kidneys. Now, mainstream medical says 120 over 80, but what he has found and what I have seen in myself and others is that a more beneficial bottom number is going to be between 60 and 70. That's less pressure. Um, and once again, that's associated with the kidneys. And when you measure your blood pressure, you want to do it on both arms because the body's bilateral. And as you can see, you've got kidneys and adrenals on one side, kidneys and adrenals on the other side as well. And then the blood pressure, when we just say what is blood pressure, it's the pressure of fluid against the flexible and contractible tubes, which are also called arteries, which the blood flows through. See if you guys can get a better angle there. All right. So, and your representation is essentially an indication of whether you're in too high a gear or too low a gear. I love using the vehicle traveling up a hill representation because it works phenomenally for this. So if your pressure is too high, you're essentially in too low of a gear, meaning you're straining the engine and you're going to blow it up, aka like burst an artery. So too high of a pressure can potentially burst an artery or just really weaken the wall, the arterial wall. And then if it's too low, it's essentially like not having enough power to get up in the hill. You're in too high of a gear. You're just lugging, and not really having the fuel economy or power to get up that hill. And when your kidneys don't filter, you'll see an increase in the diastolic number, which is once again the bottom number. Your entire lymphatic system, which is your sewage system, will filter through the kidneys as its primary channel of elimination. Otherwise, it'll go through the skin and just try to get out any which way it can. But primarily, all of the lymphatic waste, cellular waste, will filter through these bad boys right here, and then out your ureter tubes. I forget what exactly it's called. Haven't done physiology and anatomy in quite some time. But this is where the urine comes out. Anyways, so like I was saying, when your kidneys lose their ability to filter from too much waste coming in, or maybe you're born with genetically weak kidneys thanks to mom and dad and grandparents, etc., etc., etc. Some reason or another, they're just not filtering very well. You'll begin to see an increase in your diastolic reading as time goes on. This will also raise the systolic pressure, which essentially means your adrenal glands are weak. or it doesn't mean that they're weak, but they probably will be weak if your kidneys aren't functioning very well, just because they have such an intimate relationship. Um, and you'll notice too, like for me, when my kidneys started to filter, I saw an extreme decrease in both my systolic and diastolic. Um, Once again, I said the preferred range is about 120 over 60, and my top number went all the way down to around 90 when my kidneys really started to filter from fasting, herbs, fruit juicing, different cleansing methodologies. And this is essentially a representation of extremely weak adrenals. Adrenal fatigue, I was definitely feeling it, like just totally worn out, not having the energy, not having the will. Um, and it's just really not very fun. Dr. Robert Morris recommends glandulars for regeneration of the adrenal glands, but I've been successful with other methods, and glandulars are an animal product, and I do not advocate or support the use of animal products, even though I totally understand that he's just trying to get people on a fast track to Wellsville. But in my own experience, practicing the mucosalous diet healing system, rational fasting, the use of herbs have really benefited me. So, like I was saying, my pressure was around 90 over 65 to 70. I literally just took it, and it was 117 over 61. So, my adrenal glands are not near as weak as they used to be. I've had a much higher amount of vitality, energy. Um, it's extremely noticeable. And so I highly recommend checking your blood pressure. You can get some good information from it. So some of the methods that I've used to, I guess, regenerate my adrenal glands are the use of herbs such as dandelion, saw palmetto, burdock, sarsaparilla is what I just started using recently, but oh my gosh, it's so delicious. I've also been using Dr. Robert Morris's kidney and adrenal formulas in combination with the Fab Four, so you address all the major systems. Fruit juicing, apple juice works really well for kidney filtration, because when your kidneys filter, your adrenal glands are going to be happy. If you want more information, or you want to contact me directly as far as what you could personally be doing, you can find me on Facebook at Doug Brunson. You could shoot me an email at dlb949@msn.com, or just post a comment below in the section here on the page, and I'll see what I can do to get back to you. I want to be talking and working with as many people as I can. Just sharing information is all, not trying to charge. Yeah, I want us all to get well, guys. So let me know if there are any questions or anything I left out that you want answered. Another thing too. I mean, honestly, the best place I can recommend starting is getting a copy of the Mucosalous Diet Healing System, removing animal products, removing acid-forming foods, aka mucus-forming foods. This is what causes so much of that waste to build up in the lymphatic system in the first place. And it's a journey. Like, honestly, you can't just regenerate your adrenal glands overnight. Like, it's going to take a long time. If you do research online, they typically say, like, it can take up to like 3 years if you're consistent. But there are definite ways to get there faster than others, but everyone's different, so not everyone's going to regenerate in the same amount of time. But anyways, guys, take care. Hit me up.